Welcome to the part 2 of the video series of cyber sales with Abhishek, specifically on the methodology of straight line sales method. So this is a part 2. If you're coming directly to this video, I suggest you see the part 1 because this is the continuation of that video. So in the earlier video, I showed to you what are the 3 ways that basically a straight line sales method works. Just to recap. In order for a sale to happen, the customer should love your product on the scale of 1 to 10. You should map them. The customer should trust you on the scale of 1 to 10. And the customer or the prospect should trust your company. Very important. So these are on the scale of 1 to 10. And this methodology is called 3/10 sales methodology, or 3/10, which is the straight line sales method. Now, let's take an example. Let's say I'm a salesman. I got a call from a customer. Tring, tring. Hi, hello. Hi, sir. Hi, Abhishek. This is XYZ, and you know me, and I'm from the IT company. I'm the IT director, and basically we are planning to look out for a newer technology which is better than an antivirus. So definitely the prospect has already decided to move from the antivirus. So, sir, which technology are you looking at? I may ask. Abhishek, we are looking at an EDR technology. Oh, that's really great, sir. EDR is really the next, or I would say, is one of the best technologies when it comes to the competition of protection of your endpoints. Great. Now I'll ask another question, sir. Is there any vendor or any OEM that you have shortlisted? Yeah, Abhishek, we have shortlisted CrowdStrike, in our mind, Sentinel-1, and Defender. Let's say these are the 3 things that he has, because these are on the quadrants and these are the best, of course. These 3 are the topmost EDRs. From mine. That's really great, sir. Absolutely. So from here, one thing is very clear, that the prospect loves antivirus up to an extent. So let me give him a figure of 5 out of 10, right? If not 10 out of 10, 5 out of 10. Then this is the first part of it, 5 out of 10. Okay, this part is done. Now coming to the trust part. Now when I go and meet the customer, or when I speak to the customer, if you see, I have to make sure that I look a very genuine person, and I do not come as a salesy, or I do not come as a fake person, because any individual can sense fakeness, smell fakeness kilometers away. I mean, that's very genuine, even if we do not know what is right, we know when we meet the wrong set of people. So you as a salesman has to make sure that you don't sound salesy at all, no matter what. So that is the second part of it. Be very trustworthy. Just like I said, I was very genuinely speaking, sir. That's great. I just complimented him, and then say, yeah, that's a great 3. So now, what would be my response when I go and say? I can say, sir, thank you so much. You have selected this 3 areas, sir. What can we do? Is the next part, since you've already shortlisted your mind on these 3 areas, and we as an organization deal with all the 3. The next step would be, sir, let's do a demo of all the 3. Let me get the disties to get the demo, and after that you can select at least 2, and then we can go for a POC of 1 or 2, and post that we will see what value it's offering to you, and then let's see what happens next. So you see, I have given the prospect a clear roadmap. I'm not trying to upsell anything, downsell anything, nothing. I'm not asking any investigative questions also. What he said, I'm just following. Now what the prospect will say, great Abhishek, let's do it. Tell me when we can do the demo number 1, which means now I have moved the prospect from 5 to 7 now, almost, right? That's great. Now the next part is the prospect trusting your company. Please understand, this is supremely important. I would say this can even go above this, because if the prospect loves the product, and if the prospect loves you also, trusts you as a salesperson, but he doesn't trust your company, it's over. So it's very important responsibility of us. For example, if prospect hates your company, matter is closed. There is no way we are going to get into that. Leave it, drop the case, go to the next. But in case the prospect doesn't know your company, let's say the prospect is at 5 because he don't know anything, negative or positive, he's a neutral guy on 5. Now it's your responsibility to push it from 5 to 10 on the scale of certainty. And there are many things that you can do, and we'll go this in detail, but just on the whole picture, just as part of the video, I can tell you, you can tell a story. If you genuinely loves your company, tell the story. Why are you working with this company? So if somebody asks me, why are you working with XYZ company, I will say, sir, the company started its operation in 1997, and currently, we are here to work with the APAC company. We have been working with Europe and Americas, but we want to make sure that we cater to Indian organizations. Also, one of our bench strength is our people, because our people are our main staff, especially our SOC team has been amazing. You can drop few names of your colleagues who are in your technical team and drop under a story how they helped earlier organization to tackle a particular ransomware attack, or how they tracked the storyline and how they remediated. Wow, that's great. So you have actually told why are you working with this company, also the support stuff, how they are, and that case again. So you have you have put a story under a story. That's very beautiful. People love stories. So they are happy, okay, I'm working with a guy who loves his company. Versus I'm working with a guy who hates a company, who says, no, sir, the company is pathetic, but I will get the work done, don't worry, so on and so forth. Nobody wants to work with people like that. If you hate your company, what's the whole point? Why should I give you the deal? So these are the three things that's very important and what our aim is to make from the scale of 1 to 10. So there are two certainties that generally happens here. When we talk about the scale of 1 to 10, I'm talking about from the scale of absolute uncertainty to the absolute scale of certainty, right? So there are two type of certainties. Certainty number 1 is logical certainty, and certainty number 2 is your emotional certainty, right? So you have to make sure that we cater to both when we want to improve our score of 1 to 10 for those three parameters. When you talk about logical certainty, when you talk to a vendor, let's say EDR vendor, sorry, EDR, a client which needs an EDR, we can talk about return on investment, right? You can talk about total cost of ownership, how it's going to cost him the next 3-4 years. We can tell him how much he's going to save against an incident if the incident is tackled and then not tackled, versus the penalties that he has to pay if that doesn't happen. So there are a lot of metrics like this that can go, and the person is convinced. It's a very logical angle. Not everybody likes to hear that, but it's ideal. If you're going to do the value selling, people want to see the numbers, how much it costs, how much is going to help me. The second part and the most important part is the emotional. People, as they say, people buy things out of emotion, right? And then they justify using a logic, right? If I love something, I say I need this, and they say I need this because but immediately what I saw, I loved it, I went through my emotions. So emotions are very well. So here what we need to do is that we have to take our customer into what it's called as forward pacing. Forward pacing, very important part. Forward pacing means you basically make the customer feel what it would do to their life when they have this particular solution. For example, sir, when you have an EDR, let's say the same example, with my managed service, let's say added managed service, one thing is for sure, sir, you don't need to worry 24/7 bar 365 days. Our complete team based out of India and whichever the part is Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, we're going to support you 24/7 in that. And at the same time, you will be relaxing, sitting on a chair, having a coffee, and every day you will get a dashboard where you can see what are the incidents has been tackled. On the contrary, if you're not doing the managed service, we are doing EDR also, we'll make sure that whichever the L1 SOC person we have given, or your L1, if you're only selling the solution, we'll make sure that the solution that we have sold is so good that your L1 analyst feels so good that he or she don't have to worry about the false positive, because generally in SOC one of the great issues is the false positive. The false positive rate would be less, reduced by 30%, which is big winner. Secondly, the remediation part, the quarantine part is quite easy to do, that they're saving time. Because usually in the SOC what happens, sir, is that there's a lot of burnout. Because there's so much of false positive. The real thing is somewhere else. Unnecessary things are coming up. So we'll make sure that it goes down. Your SOC analyst is happy, you are happy, you're relaxed, you get a proper coverage of what's happening, and you give it to your board is happy. What do you want, sir? That's what you see. What I did is I did a forward pacing. I gave him a picture, I created a visualization in his mind. So these are the two things that is going to help us to increase our score from 1 to 10, right, on the scale of certainty. So again, just to summarize the entire video, we went across a use case, how the EDR thing worked in this three: product, loving your product, loving you, trusting you, and number 3 was trusting your company, what you can do. And also these are the two factors in it. How to increase from 1 to 10 is your logical as well as emotional certainty. So with this, I like to conclude today's this video. If you found any doubt or query, please drop into that. At the same time, if you have any comments, please drop into that. I'm also improving with you. If there is some error from mine, please forgive me. But my whole point is that you sell things better, and with this methodology, I'm sure you will rock. Thank you so much.